Alright, what is up, Soul Fam? This is Chris here with Soldier of Life, and it finally took me about 3.5 months to stop giving a shit what people think about me while I'm shooting a video out in public. As you can see, there's like hella people around me. Yeah, whatever. But the coolest thing about it is, since I've gotten all this practice in, I really don't care anymore. So basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, I meant to say, I'm currently in Chiang Mai University. They have this beautiful reservoir here, and it's a really dope view. You know, the hardest thing about shooting videos as a dark-skinned black guy is when it's hot, I can't go in the shade because you can't see me, and when I'm out in the sun, I sweat like crazy. You'll probably see hella sweat beads all up in here once the video starts going, but you know, that's the struggle. You got to do what you got to do. But basically what I wanted to talk about today was starting a business from the passions or what you love. You know, I personally believe that you can literally start a business from anything that you want to do. And I know a lot of people, when they go throughout their days, you know, they like, you might be with your friends and you have all of these crazy ideas, and they always sound good and they always seem like you'll be able to make hella money off of it, but nobody ever pushes the ideas. So they just let it go, and you know, it is what it is, which is understandable. But if you really want to monetize those things, you know, I think personally it's like 5 different steps that you had to do. So these are the things that I've done for my business to get started, to make sure that I'll be profitable in the future. I had to give myself a time span and all that other good stuff. Yeah, but the first step is basically you have to find out what you like. You know what I'm saying? When I first personally got out here and I wanted to do my digital nomad career or whatever, you know, I was doing drop shipping, you know, and I felt like it was an easy enough thing to do. A lot of people were doing it and I got a lot of feedback from the community. But when I was doing it, you know, I was making decent coin, but I didn't like it at all. Like, I felt like I didn't leave a decent job in computer networking to be a drop shipper, you know? So it's like, you really got to balance those things out. And I felt like in the long run, like I just wouldn't see the point in doing it anymore. I'd probably actually lose interest and not even want to do it, maybe sell it or something like that. So I was just like, what is the point of doing something that I'm not really passionate about? You know, what's something that I don't care about? And then when I was doing certain videos on YouTube on another channel, I was doing whatever is popular, you know, so I was doing like highlight videos or whatever, you know what I mean? But again, I wasn't really passionate about that either. So when I finally took the time to contemplate, you know, what I'm passionate about, you know, basically like when they tell you like, what could you do? What would you do for free if you could, and you wouldn't have to worry about making a living, you know what I mean? So I personally picked mine, and I think it's very important to find out what you're doing. I mean, what do you want to do, and then figure out how do you want to be able to do it, you know? So, you know, just to all the people that are, you know, whatever you're doing, whatever other people are doing, it's fine. But I personally didn't want to go to work and have it feel like work. I wanted to go to work and be excited. You know I can personally motivate myself to do it and motivate myself to be the best at it, the best that I can. But I personally wasn't really into like doing something that I didn't want to do. So it was just whatever to me. So I personally quit it. But I think it's important to find out what you're passionate about before you even get started. The second step, you have to do your research, right? So you can have a passion in playing video games, you know, but how many people, you know, well, shit, now, yeah, there's definitely a market for it now. But you have to figure out if people around you are actually into what you're doing, if it's actually going to be a craft that you can monetize. Jeez, look at the sweat. But you have to see if it's a craft that you would want to, that you would be able to monetize. So you have to research, you know, you have to see what the average amount of people are making doing that business. You know, is there a market for it? Is it nicheable or whatever the case may be? So I think that's definitely an important step. A lot of people don't look that up. I personally found when I first started, you know, how many people, the success rate of people that just leave their jobs. You know, it's like if you want to be an actor, you can leave your job and try to be an actor, but like what is the percentage of people that actually go out to Hollywood and try to be an actor and actually make it? So do your research, just know the bumps that you're up against, and it's good to get the statistics. So then you know in your head, you know, what is the rate in which your passive failure rate, and that goes back again to your passions. Like if you're not passionate about it, then there's no point even doing it. Number 3, you have to create a package, okay? So when you are conducting your business, you wanna make sure that you put it into a package that is, what is the word? You put it in a package that is it is definable by you, basically. You know, I always thought like, yeah, damn. But I always thought like, let's say like Disney World, you know, say that, you know, Disney World's a theme park. It's one of the biggest theme parks or whatever. But just because there's a Disney World out there, you know, doesn't mean there's not also room for a Six Flags. Doesn't mean it's not room for a Busch Gardens or a SeaWorld. You know, you just have to, you have to see the niche that you want to do. You have to find out the opportunity of what you do, and then put it in a certain package into where it's individual to you. It's catered to you. So just like a quick brief summary, when I was in Germany, they had a lot of party buses, right? So in Germany, you can go to a club, but a lot of the clubs are far away. So you can take a bus. Like there's a lot of different services. You can take a bus to another place, to another club that you don't usually go to. And they have some services already there. So I really enjoyed the idea. Like I was local within the community and the nightlife community. So I thought to myself, like, how could I package this to where it is different than the other companies? So I came up with the idea of, you know, it's one thing to, basically I did it a couple times, and basically we had to rent the whole bus. So you have to rent a bus, and you have to get the ticket sales to pay for the bus and all that other good stuff. So we would do all that, but we would go to like one really big event. So I always thought, well, if I'm already renting the bus, you know, and they don't even charge for like the gas or anything like that. They don't charge for the miles. They just charge for the hours that you rent the bus. I was like, well, I can take this one bus, visit like 5 or 6 different clubs in that night. And then basically it's like fuck is this shit? Anyway, it's like a, what an asshole. But it's like a pub crawl, if you will, you know? You basically go to one space and, oh my, okay. So basically you go to one space and then you would go to different places within the same night. So basically at the club you would go to, let's say you would go to one club and it would drop you off at like 10:30 or something like that. It would roll out at about 11. So if you like this club, then you can stay there. If you want to go to the next one, then you're free willing to go. So we would do that, you know, every half an hour, go to a different place. And then around like 3 o'clock in the night or 3 o'clock in the morning, when a lot of the clubs close at like 5, then we start picking people back up, you know? So it's the same service going there, same coming back, but now it's in a different package. Now I can tell people, you know, we're going to multiple different clubs instead of just going to one event, you know, and that would fuel a lot more people. All right, number 4 is you have to figure out how you can monetize it. All right, so obviously it'd be prevalent for the nightclub business. That makes more sense. But I talked to a buddy of mine actually the other day, and he was telling me, you know, like he has a decent amount of money to invest, but he doesn't know what he wants to invest in. So after we had this conversation and we asked him what he's passionate about, you know, so he personally, he lives in the city of Chiang Mai, Thailand. So we was like, you know, so what did you like to do? You know, this and that. So he's like, oh, people don't know about this. When they come visit here, people don't know about that, you know. So we were talking to him, and the same thing goes. Me and my buddy finally figured out. We was like, okay, well, if you did a couple videos about the city, you know, and then show different places. I mean, it's hard to show different places, but a lot of people travel here, but they're not really frequent here. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of dedicated places or channels for Chiang Mai. So but there's not a lot of different dedicated places for Chiang Mai. So if you made a site about, you know, the different scooter rentals, the apartment rentals, you know, the things that a lot of other people wouldn't know, and you become that dedicated person that you go to, you would be the person that everybody go to when they visit here. So the thing about that is once you do that, then you'll be able, in order for you to monetize it, you can just take, you can create a service to where, you know, like when people have to do visa runs, you know I personally didn't know how to do a visa run, but when I looked up a video on how to do it, I literally followed that step, and we had this whole conversation with him. And we were telling people, you know, people don't really want to think anymore. We want to follow steps. You know, if there's step-by-step guides that'll help us out how to do it, then you can do that. And then I was like, you just put it in a different package that everybody else has put it in. You know, instead of saying that you'll take people to the border, you know, you have to talk to Thai people if you don't really know Thai. Just say you'll create a package for Western people. Everybody get on a bus. It's almost like a party bus. And then, you know, there'll be like drinks involved on the bus. I mean, it's a pretty long drive to some of the borders that you have to go to. But you go there, you know, let's say you just go there once a week, and then all the people around there, once you get known for that, everybody, that would be the standard in order to start going to the border. You know, and when we talked about the idea, me and my other buddy, we were said how good of an idea it was, but it's not something that we were passionate about. So we told them, like, if that's what you want to do, you know, it's chances out there to make money. There's chances to create your own business, but you really have to be, you have to be proactive. Like, you can't just talk about it, then the next morning, you know, not do anything about it, you know, let another day go by. And then once it starts rolling, then you just get in a pattern of, you know, just accepting failure, you know, and it's never good when you're trying to start businesses. Now, the fifth step, well, I want to say it's optional, but I personally would brand it. You know, it's 2018, the new business model. You know, you have to basically, like anybody that has a business, you have to brand it. You have to let people know, you know, your logo and that you're different. And almost like the logo entails what you're all about. And that's, you know, definitely important now. You know, like if you look at basketball, there's like 750 people that had sneakers, when back in the day, like 10 years ago, you know, only like 5 people would have a signature sneaker, and you had to be like an all-star, an elite, definite player or something like that. But nowadays, you know, everybody wants to be CEO of their own company. Everybody wants to start their own thing, which is, I mean, it's cool. It's optional, but it's a definite thing you want to consider, because when branding your business, you know, that's just the business model these days. The last tip I wanted to talk about was basically get to work, man. You know, I personally have this problem also. When I came up with my business model, when I thought about the thing that I really, really wanted to do, that I was really prevalent in doing, it was fun writing out a plan. It's really fun, you know, planning out for 10, you know, 15 years down the line, what do you want, where do you want to be? It's really cool saying where I'm gonna be. It's really cool putting out like where I'm gonna be in a year from now, or this is how I want it to go, and this and that. Like, it's good to have an overview. You know, it's very important to have an overview, but stop trying to come up with your conclusion, you know, before you even get this started. You have to get to work. You really have to get to work. And it's better to overwork. You know, it's obviously better to, you know, work with a scheduled plan, have a definitive course that you want to go to, but it's better to overwork and have a lot of stuff to throw away than underwork and not have enough. You know what I mean? Like, I know, just case in point, when I was doing music videos, it was really hard for me. Like, I did music, and it was really hard for me to get a lot of people together to put the music together or whatever. And it's so funny how, like, it depends on your group too, but a lot of people at the time, what I was experiencing, that they don't want to be around you, or they don't want to be a part of something until it's really big, you know. And that's the problem when you're waiting for things to get big. Once they get big, then they're probably already gone, you know. So you're trying to be a part of it. Like, but when I did that, I found that I only got a couple shots, you know, just so people like, oh, okay, you know, sure, get out of here, you know, I don't want to keep you up. I get a couple B shots, you know. But because of that, when it came time for editing, when it came down to put the video together, it was very difficult to find shots that weren't redundant, or shots that weren't boring, or, you know, it's easier now to make them fun, I guess. But like, it was very hard to find the shots that I wanted, and that's only because, like, I was underworking. I wasn't out there, you know, filming everything, you know, especially when you're making music videos. I don't know if anybody ever did it before, but it's very difficult. Like, you have to film everything, you know, and it's just a case in life, you know. It's better to work smarter, not harder. But if you had to choose, like, I'd rather work harder, you know, if smart wasn't an option. But yeah, that's basically what I talked to you about today. It is super hot. I'm about to jump in the sun. Think about that, man. It's hot, man. Dark skin, I'm out here with y'all, man. It's hot. But I appreciate you liking the video. Thank you so very much. Please like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to change the world. You let them know. This is what success looks like. This is what success looks like. This is Chris with Soldier of Life. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, fuck, it's hot.